Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This has to be the righteous song we've ever started the show with. And it's all thanks to our guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. Yeah, you know what I mean? It is Podcast and Chill. My name is Mac G. Today, Len is being a ghost.
It's fine.
Say hi,
Put
Len.
me in the background. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool.
Len is in the background, but yeah, welcome to it.
It's tight.
Episode 10.
10. Yeah, me, I'm jersey number 10. Bro. You know, I wasn't gonna come on 11. Bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest for this evening. You might know him as Malume, aka Ankletap. What are the names you got, bro?
There's
You got
many,
some-
my man. You missing
Malume
quite a few.
Pompo.
So it starts with Ankletap, right?
Yeah.
DJ Ankletap. But because of the way I say Ankletap, people thought it was Ankel. So
Yeah.
then that's where Malume comes from. And then somewhere down the line, I got Malume Pompo.
Yeah.
And then that became Tivoli because there's Tivoli as well. You know,
The tap, the most
they sell tabs, yeah,
expensive.
really. And then that evolved to Brativza at one point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get a new one every week.
Shapa Utaraso. Dude, you're looking good, dude. You've gained some weight. Where
Where have you ever found somewhere where they say you gaining weight, you're looking good? It's the other way around. Posted a pic today and someone was like, "Hey, gym, my guy, membership."
No, the thing is, in the black culture, when you're gaining weight,
It means you're making money.
Yeah.
Because you're eating the money.
But there's no carb
Well,
there, Chief.
There's somewhere.
Nah, there's some cover there. Last time I saw you, want this chubby.
Says this guy. You know, everyone with metabolism. This guy with his metabolism. You can probably chow whatever you want. You are MacGyver. You've
All the
been
time.
MacGyver.
Dude, I drink what I want, chow what I want. Literally.
And chow who?
I was about to say, is it a who? Is it a who you want? Rock the girls. Let's talk about this. You're talking about blast from the past. You open the show with Casablanca taking us back. Rock the
He's
girls.
also a blast from the...
Just a blast.
Anyway, guys, welcome to it.
We
Ankletap.
fresh now, bro. We fresh. We got DJ Ankletap right now, bro.
We saw.
But if he's a blast from the past, Len, you're just the past, bro.
Oh.
Wow! It's gonna be a crazy show. But listen,
Wow.
we're so glad you came because you like our first high-profile guest.
My high-profile guest. There's no hope for this podcast until if I'm a high-profile guest, there's no hope for this.
Dude, how long you been at Y, bro? You're like part of the furniture now, man.
So yeah, man, like going on nine
that your
years
serious-
now.
is that your
This
serious
is my
voice?
serious
Yeah.
voice. Like,
Yeah, man.
So yeah, like 8 years, bro.
I can't take it.
8, 9, somewhere there. You lose it after 5. You're like, hey, I'm here.
So MacGyver was actually right about this counting thing because at some point I lost count and he was like, yeah, some shit. So that's why you also don't know if it's 8, 9, 7.
Let's put it this way. I've
10.
been there long enough to, if I had to get a gig at another radio station, I'm going to be out here on first show. Yonaki, away.
Hey, dude, I did
And
that.
then
I did that as well, bro.
You had that?
Yeah, I read out my email at 947. So I'm like, email me at macg@y. I was like, oh shit. But anyway, you don't.
Imagine the surprise of the server, the guy that monitors the emails at Y, gets still getting your emails.
You know what I mean? But listen, here's what I want to start, right? You probably don't know this, but Len knows the story. First time I heard of you, right?
Yeah.
I was driving in the morning to the East End. I don't know what I was doing at the time. But
Rocking the girls.
yeah.
Most likely.
at 6 in
Why
the morning,
is
come on, guys.
Hey.
From Skita Vast
Maybe I was
situations.
dropping
right?
off. Ne?
Did you do the walk of shame
Nah,
to your
G.
car after that?
Nah, G. So I'm listening to UJFM.
Yeah.
And I hear this guy. I'm like, fuck, this guy's amazing. Like, the way he spoke, like, the way he carried a conversation, how he'd tell a story.
Yeah.
And then, same time, I called our programs manager at YFM at the time. His name was Dumelo. And I'm like, yo, dude, there's this kid.
Still
It's
is.
not like he changed his name.
He's still the boss. His name didn't change.
So I'm like, yo, Dumelo, there's this kid. You got to hear, bro. His name is Ankletap. He's on UJFM. He's doing breakfast. And then within 2 weeks, you were hired at YFM.
Yeah. I did.
I'm not saying I'm taking credit. For
No,
getting you a
like,
job.
like between you and Len, I think you filtered it to Len, or it filtered back through Len, then to me. I remember Len just sending me a Facebook message saying, "Yo, dog, you're gonna get a call from someone at Y. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's bullshitting me. He's talking shit. And it happened. I got the message. But I think I did the breakfast show on UJ. I was lucky you were listening on that day. Thank you. Thank you to that lady. Whoever she is in Ikuruleni. You launched my career without knowing it because MacGyver was driving that morning.
Holla back to that
because
girl.
I only did, like you say, the 2-week thing. I only did that show for less than a month.
You kidding?
At UJFM. I had just taken over and I obviously had to be better because I took over from like a really shit show.
Yeah.
At that period, I think they called it the morning sickness.
Wow.
Imagine doing a morning breakfast radio and the show's called the morning sickness.
Is that the level of creativity they had?
They had. And then like I did that show for like a month and then I was out. But you know the politics in campus radio is hectic because
there's politics.
No, there's hectic because nobody's getting paid. So
SRC.
Nobody's getting. Yeah, it's like SRC vibes. It's like who you know. It's not what you know. It's who you know. Yeah. And like for them to give me the show and then 3 weeks later to be like, I'm out, guys.
So you get the call. Did you get the call from Dumelo or like? Was it how did it happen?
I got a call. I got a message from him, like a Facebook message, and then he said, "Come through, meet me for breakfast." Had like this long discussion about radio, and then
Did you go to Wimpy?
No, actually, I can't remember where it was in. I think it was Mug and Bean.
Okay.
Remember when there was a Mug and Bean in Parkhurst? I think it was Greenside or Parkhurst or somewhere there.
It's probably Greenside. It was
Greenside. Yeah. And we went through there and we had a quick meeting and then he met with me 3 days later to give me a contract. It was like, it all happened really fast.
How was the meeting? Like when you walked in the meeting, were you nervous? Because this is like the first...
I remember him saying to me in that meeing, so my guy...
in those words?
Yeah.
Because that's how Dumelo speaks.
He goes, so my guy... Whose show must I give you? Who are you gonna take out? And then you know what the problem was is that Len actually, the true story, Len had been hyping me up, saying, and I think Len meant like, my guy, you're the next Mo Flavor, and at the time Mo Flavor was doing the breakfast show.
Yeah.
But that was fresh in my mind, so I sort of half said Moor.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I hadn't been listening to
Y
at the time, so I don't really know all the shows. But the show that I caught was a graveyard show at the time, always driving like to UJ. What was the nighttime show with Linda Mbuso. So I remember I threw that out there. I'm like, that midnight show of yours, then you put me in there. And a couple of days later, when I got the contract was for that slot.
Yeah.
So it was like, I called it myself, and he's like, "Okay, cool, I'll put you in."
So you
there.
could have asked for the breakfast show. You could have got that.
Look at you.
Maybe.
So you start. So you get to YFM. What show are you starting now?
I started on midnight to 3 weekdays.
Midnight to 3. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so 12
That's
to 3.
a nice slot.
It's a nice slot because the music.
That's where you started as well.
Music,
Didn't you, MacGyver?
Yeah, even Trevor Noah started.
Trevor Noah, Waras. It's a lit slot.
Totally.
But no, here's the funny
Totally.
thing. Let me tell you the funny thing, right? We actually spoke about this last week. He took over from Trevor Noah.
Did you really? Did you really? Because wasn't Trevor on Y for like 3 months or something?
More than you on UJ.
Yeah.
No, what had happened was.
Oh shit! I said that's a funny story. It actually is funny.
But good thing that you took over from Trevor Noah back then.
I didn't.
Because if you had to take over from him now, can you imagine? Can you imagine? The pressure. It's like, hey guy.
Close.
Hey guy.
To even taking over from Trevor Noah now.
So listen.
If Trevor's not around, the Daily Show doesn't happen. There's no like, yo, Roy.
Yeah.
You in, bruh.
But in the guy is the same name of a guy who was very powerful in the Bible, man. Like,
Oh yeah. So
guy,
the line.
The show was called Noah's Ark. I remember that much.
Yes, it was.
His show was called Noah's Ark.
So he left to pursue comedy, right?
Okay.
And then they got Tully B, who was doing weekends to fill in during the week.
Yeah.
And then they had to
last
fill
week on Dragon Ball Z.
They had to get someone.
Why did Nimrod have to come out? Why does everyone go to Nimrod, bruh?
And then
It was Nimrod, bruh. Tonight on E. That guy could hype anything.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about your story. Enough about me. So you start 12 to 3.
Yeah.
Midnight. How long did you do that for?
I did that for 1 year.
Okay. And
Okay,
then,
so I did 2 shows in my first year there, right?
yeah.
So
this is like 1990.
Showing no age.
This is the Waka Waka vibes 2010. And
That's when I got fired. Dude.
yeah, dude. I should thank you in so many ways. Not only did you discover me, but you made a gap there, bro. You made a gap because then, and it's a legit gap. There's a domino thing in radio because Waras was doing the midnight slot, and then he moved into your slot at lunchtime, and then I came and took Waras' slot.
Oh.
There was like a year in between.
Okay.
But yeah, at the time I did that, and then Oskido had left, and they needed something to replace Church Grooves.
Church Grooves.
So.
Oh shit! You got 2 shows?
Yeah, I got 2 shows right off the bat.
Once?
At once. That was weekend drive, Saturday 3 to 6.
So are you like
house
the new
show.
MacGyver now?
No, at the time
you're
I'm just
the new Ankletap.
I'm just
Forget
the guy.
MacGyver. MacGyver is a blast from the past. Because he came in and he was doing like the weekday things. Whatever.
No, man. Let's not talk. Stop talking about me, dude. We've got so many
my
episodes
time
to talk
now,
about
bro.
him, about me, dog. Let's,
blast from the past.
yes,
HD.
yes,
Askis.
yeah.
HD. We're not.
HD. You see the quality of this video tonight.
now, eh?
HD.
Oh, by the way, we usually record with the lens camera, so now we're recording with
No, with Lens iPhone.
lens iPhone.
Yeah.
So
I
now
love
we're
how you're
recording-
laughing at Len. Vele, you have a phone. So if you're losing Len's phone, it means we're not using your phone.
He's using a J2.
So this is probably the best podcast we ever gonna have because we're using Ankletap's phone.
no.
But
So
yeah,
this is
carry on.
podcast and chill HD.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, so I then joined Just Mo, and Josie Chavez kind of arrived one Saturday, and
Oh
then we were
yes,
the
I
3.
remember you used to
So
listen to that.
initially the show didn't have a name. Our boss said, "Look, I'm putting you 3 guys here. Just do this house show for 3 hours. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have anything. Just call it." And we ended up calling it Rock Forever Saturdays. We were just like, we have to rock forever, and that became the warehouse. So
Okay.
my first year I was doing strictly tap nights, which
Yeah.
was 12 to 3, and then on Saturdays I was doing the warehouse with Justin Josie, and then literally that was 1 year.
Okay.
And the following April I was moved to lunchtime weekdays, 12 to 3.
Okay, so where's Waras now?
Waras at that time got moved to, was it the afternoon drive? I think he moved to.
Oh, did he do
Or Toli
drive?
B. No, he moved to 6 to 9 at night.
Oh, okay.
So Toli B moved to afternoon drive. Then Waras
Oh yeah,
moves.
with Tumi Foster. That's where
Him and Tumi Foster moved to the
Oh,
evening.
okay,
I
cool.
come into the lunchtime show.
How long did you do that for?
I did that for 2 years,
Okay.
and then the 3rd year
Yeah.
got called in contract and then they said, "Well, what show do you want to do?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to."
Chief, wait. I need to find out something. Why is it when you are always asked what show you want to do?
No, listen,
It's white privilege.
They're like, we want to see, does this boy have ambition? Like, does he have ambition? Is he doing the right thing?
What show you want to do?
Now we get told what show you're doing.
You're like, if you give it doing, my man. So yeah, I got asked, and I said I'd love to do a breakfast show someday, and he was like, no,
Yeah.
you're not ready for that. And
This is still too mellow.
this is still too many. And then, Waras was supposed to, I think that was the plan, was for Waras to move to breakfast. Flavor was going to do a switch up and move to the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then Waras left. Waras left with just like a week or like 10 days before we launched the new lineup.
Yeah.
So I was at the photo shoot, about to shoot for my 3rd year on lunchtime, when I got called outside under a tree to be like, "Listen, dog, change of plan. We're moving you to breakfast."
Wow.
So I just like found that out. And then what was more stressing was, how they do these photo shoots? They'll get certain outfits for certain people, right?
Yeah.
Because people sponsor these outfits. So they had this Jeremy Scott 1 of 1 design.
Who's Jeremy Scott?
Yeah, he's a famous guy. I don't know. He's a famous guy. Okay. And it was an Adidas tracksuit that they had from him. The tracksuit was like 70,000 Rand or whatever it was. And Waras was supposed to wear that. They're like, "No, now you need to change. You must fit into this tracksuit, yeah, Waras." And Waras is a skinny guy.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
short.
Guy. So I literally couldn't breathe in that photo shoot. I'm like, it's the worst. You'll see the
we
pictures.
gotta put up these
We'll find a
pictures.
picture. Put
I'll
that
find
in
a
the
picture.
Insta.
Yeah,
I'm
we must
literally
find
like
this picture.
standing behind Flavor like this in black and white shoes. So I just get told, and then that's how I ended up.
Now, at that
doing
time,
morning
aren't you
thing.
like, "Fuck, I'm not ready for breakfast"? Are you like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this"?
No, you say, "Fuck yeah, let's do this." You walk in, you do your photo shoot, you walk back, and you get home. You're like, "Fuck, I'm not ready for this." It comes later. You're like,
Yeah.
"Yo."
Yeah. So tell me about the first nerves. Like, what were you
The
feeling?
first link on breakfast.
Yeah, on
actually.
breakfast. Like,
First
what were you
thing on
feeling?
breakfast was great.
What year is this? What year is this?
Let's work this out. This was
2012, I think.
this was like 2014, I think.
Okay.
April 2014, so 4 years
First
ago.
link.
First
YFM.
link. So I thought I was so cool, right? And my first link was shot down by my boss because he's like, "You got to come in with energy. This is you're on breakfast, come in with energy." And I had my tech producer do this little jingle with Drake's song, "Started from the bottom, now we're here." I thought that was cool. Started from the bottom, and my whole team here. And we vibing and we come in with this link, and afterwards I just got this text message that said, started from the bottom up, now we're here. Really? Emoji face, blank face, the one with no mouth, no nothing, just...
And how long did you do that show for?
I did that show for 2 years.
Okay, who are you working with?
Mantu Pout
Yeah.
and Pindi, we called Boss Lady, but that was the name she got from
I had the
Totally.
biggest crush on that girl.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Boss
I think
Lady's
she
been
could
with
have
the
been
same
one.
guy for...
She could have been the one.
Oh, Len.
But yeah.
But then
I
let's
can
not
say
make
most about... Yeah, but...
let's not make this about you, Len.
Don't worry, Chief.
It was never. He never indicated his intentions. He never got in there. He never chatted.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
I
about
really
him.
never
It
got
still
in
isn't
there.
about him.
He was too busy watching soccer.
Never got in there.
And then we had a couple of tech producers over that period. Mostly it was a guy named Katu.
Yeah.
Abuti Nice Times. He was on that show. C-Funk was with us for a bit.
So now you moved from breakfast to 6 to 9. What happened there?
Yeah. That
And be
was-
honest with me.
That
Don't-
was
because
probably the darkest
because
period.
in radio terms, for those people who don't understand radio, that's a demotion, to say the least.
You know, it is a demotion.
You would know.
No matter-
I've never done breakfast.
You got taken from 12 to 3 to 6 and you didn't even have to say your name, nigga.
Yeah.
the back announce.
Yeah,
lifestyle.
back announced.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a painful thing to be told. I didn't really deal with it too well. It was probably the darkest period in my broadcasting life.
And your show's rocking.
The show's rocking. It's getting better and better. And the original call. So our programs manager left, and we got a new person in that position.
Who was this guy? I think he
anyway,
was.
he's at YFM for a long time.
Yeah, it's a guy from...
Y.
What's his name?
His name's Stapura.
Stapura. Okay.
Roya.
So you know, I
shit,
guess
sorry.
you
no,
get
different guy.
no different guy. You always
I
get
feel
that
like Len's
situation.
doing his own podcast. There.
Quite 999.
Ad libs. Ad libs. Ad libs for days.
Yeah.
At some point, we're gonna have to turn the camera if this continues.
Yeah, dude.
I'll swap seats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, when you get a new manager, often people will want to change things up and put their own sort of stamp on things. And
No, call it
the
spade a
reason
spade.
I got given the excuse was that, listen, Chief, there's alcohol sort of restrictions of when you can and can't advertise alcohol, and you're the guy with all the alcohol brands interested in you, and there's this evening show that's not making enough money for the station.
Are you
So
serious?
you're the alcohol guy. We're gonna move you here, and it's gonna benefit the
Are
brand.
you being serious? That's what they gave you.
Oh, that's what I was given. Yeah.
Jeez, what bullshit is that?
They give you alcohol.
They gave me, and I never really got any alcohol. Never really got. So I was moved to that. And a whole new
No,
team.
wait. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
That sounds like a guy who's on a power trip, who's like, listen, I'm the new boss, and you're going to do what the fuck I say.
Mourinho.
You know, for the longest time, I felt that way.
Mm.
I felt like it was personal, and I felt like this person had a power trip, and this person wanted to move me from A to B when I should have been staying at A.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, and the more I sort of understand radio and how radio works, I think a lot of people would be on a power trip in that situation. If you were moved into a position where you literally had to put a lineup together for a station like Y, you're gonna step on some toes.
Yeah.
I just happened to be the person whose toes were stepped on.
So at what point did you like step back and realize like, fuck, man, this guy's making a mistake and I got to let him know? Did you ever tell him like, yo, how
I
you
think
felt?
that was just the initial reaction. You get told and initially you say straight up like, yo, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
But for me, it was always just about, I think, Tumelo, my original programs manager, had always given me this thing of a radio show is a radio show no matter what time of the day it is.
Yeah, we do radio, not time slots.
Yeah, we do radio, not time slots.
Yeah.
So I
Trust me, I know that.
put more focus on saying, well, look, I'm gonna enjoy this new show.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't have to wake up early in the morning. I'm gonna make the best of the show. And I tried. I tried until I changed things up in the beginning of the second year.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite gelling with my co-host at the time in that evening slot. So,
Mansui.
No, Mansui had left. So you see,
Why did Mansui leave?
Mansui didn't want to be part of changing to a different slot, and I think she wanted to do her own thing. So there was more of a reaction on her side. It was like,
Oh, she didn't take it.
because we were going to be separated. The plan was to move me, but to move her
Separation
elsewhere.
anxiety.
So we weren't going to move to the 6 to 9 p.m. slot together.
Oh,
We were going to
okay.
be separated,
Yeah.
and she decided to go elsewhere.
Branch off, yeah.
She to branch off and do her own thing.
And how did you receive that? Because I mean, here's a person you've been
Sucked
working.
because We worked together at UJFM, you know?
Is it? You guys work together?
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I got given the daytime show, they were like, who do you want to work with? And I said, I want to work with this person.
Yeah.
And then we brought it back to Wire.
So now you've been demoted. You don't have your co-host. Are you feeling depressed? Like, what the fuck am I doing here? What's going on?
Yeah,
Where's the future going?
For a long time, man. For a long period, I really just felt like... And everything tends to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Like in my life, I was in a terrible relationship at the
Jeez,
time.
hey.
And I was moving from one house to another.
Bitches, man.
Everything kind of
Bitches.
came crashing down. There was a 6-month period where I really did think, am I going to have to look outside of radio?
What was your bounce back?
What was?
Your bounce back in terms of, call it your lending in terms of if radio was not working out.
No, I would. My bounce back would have probably been cricket or sport or something.
But you studied to be a shrink, though.
Yeah, I studied to be a shrink, but that's just because you didn't need maths, chief.
But dude,
I went to an extra maths lesson one day in matric, and I'm like, fuck, there's nothing I can study, and they're like, hey.
So can I say something, right? That MacGyver probably doesn't know. In that, Ankletap is probably like, maybe he is, yeah. In terms of cricket scoring, you certified as a cricket scorer, right?
Up there.
Yeah, weren't you a commentator?
I was. That's how I got into radio.
Wow.
So cricket was always the first gig I ever had from when I was like 11 years old.
Do like a commentate for us.
Okay, I was a stadium announcer.
Okay,
but it's the same thing.
Pretend we're in a stadium.
Oh, easy.
Okay, cool.
St. West Park.
Woo, here comes the... Hey, this is the
this
white boy for the price.
Is this Bryce or Ankletap?
No,
Okay, so
not
wait.
Ankletap,
Here's Kagiso Rabada. He's coming at...
Let's do an overchange. It's always best, because then I get to speak.
No. Do commentator by Kyle Lamu, because you thought you were coming to Midrand and you found out that...
Switching it up. You want me to do cricket things? Okay, I'll give you both.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
On the cricket side of things, my job, and I did this from when I was about 12 years old.
Okay, cool.
Serious?
Yeah, because I was scoring a game and we didn't have an announcer and somebody wanted...
So you used to work with the book? With the
yeah.
scoring?
The scorebook.
Yes.
I was that guy. I got abused in high school for that.
All right, cool. Let's get to it. Let's go.
Okay, so it would be something like...
Let me play this sound effect. Sounds like
give me
school
something
sounds.
dramatic.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably the wrong thing.
Probably
School's out. There's cricket now.
There's no horns.
It would be something like... G'day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome here to Sandvest Park in Potchefstroom for today's MTN ODI match between South Africa and Sri Lanka. News from the middle is that South African captain Graham Smith has won the toss and elected to bat first. Please welcome now onto the field your two on-field umpires, Cyril Mitchley and Rudy Koorsen. Leading the Sri Lankan side out, Captain... Kimang.
Mutai
Muralitharan. Then you wait.
Jasuri, I think he was a captain
Yeah,
at the time.
play a song, and then the batsman would come out and you'd be like, all right, Sandvest Park, please welcome your opening batsmen, Hashim Amla and Graham Smith. And opening the bowling for Sri Lanka from the university end of the ground,
Yeah.
Chaminava. So it was that kind of stuff.
Nice,
I was
dude.
just imitating.
You sound like that guy from Ultra.
Yeah. He's a big...
the voice
he's
of
my hero.
Ultra. Yeah.
He is the most epic. Like MCs in South Africa don't really know how to MC
Yeah.
at gigs. MCs think they're performers, and you really shouldn't be a performer. Like example, I was once at an Ultra gig with that guy. His name's Damien Pinto. He calls himself the voice of dance music. Right? This guy, he was introducing Tiesto, and I'll never forget it because I'm in the crowd there. The lights go dim. This guy gets on stage, and I mean, how are you going to introduce the number one DJ in the world?
Yeah.
And he did it like this. He just went, all right, ready for our main event, Ultranauts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome the most recognizable name in electronic dance music, the Tiesto Experience.
Hey.
And he walked off and Tiesto started playing. I was like, whoa. And you got a South African gig. It's like, Woza! Are you guys ready for black coffee?
Are you there? Make some noise.
We wanna party. Harita mairuna rirubala mo. Time I know your shit. Nothing's playing. Yeah, whoa. And then the others will start playing, and they do that for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Straight after while he's still playing.
Irritates me, man.
Okay, so let's get back to your radio career. So now you're doing 6 to 9. You're not happy, but you love radio. You're making the most out of it. How long did you do that for?
I did that for a year and a half.
Now, at this point, like, you've been at Y for like 7 years,
Yeah.
right? Aren't you getting offers from other stations? And are you thinking about jumping ship?
Yeah, at this point, at the point just before the move back to breakfast happened, I definitely was trying to
shop around.
find and shop around and look around, and there were a couple of things. But for me,
Who approached you?
no one really approached. I kind of put myself out there for the first time.
Okay, which station did you?
I put myself out there to East Coast. I was
East Coast
considering-
Radio?
Yeah, I was considering them because my old programs manager at the time.
Oh, it was at East Coast.
He
yeah.
was at East Coast, so
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, in football, you follow the manager because
Like Zlatan.
I was getting game time here, so maybe coach put me in kind of conversations.
Coach, I'm ready.
Coach, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the time, I was kind of told, just stay where you are. Wait, something will happen. And
702.
So just East Coast.
East Coast, I was putting myself out there to 947. I had I won't say conversations. It
Yeah.
was just messages back and forth. It wasn't really anything concrete. And then there was a time I was having a chat with Five.
Okay.
With certain individuals at Five.
So at that time, if you had a show, you would have gone.
Probably.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have worked out. Look how things worked out.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Everything happens for a
everything
reason.
happens for a reason. So then I think the end of an era happened at YFM, which is YFM CEO after 10 years, moving on, new CEO, new, I guess, evaluation of where the station's at, what the new management want to do.
And the old guard also moving away.
Yeah.
Your
So
Mo's and your Tollies.
one of the things they did was they did a survey.
Yeah.
They decided to do a massive survey for YFM listeners. It was called the Re-Up Survey.
Okay.
So, what kind of music do you like? What don't you like? What shows do you like? What shows don't you like? And pretty much after that, there was this massive sort of outcry for me to come back to breakfast.
Wow.
I was
That
literally-
speaks
So you
volumes.
never know you get.
I was brought back to breakfast by the YFM listeners.
Wow.
Literally, like they did a survey and they were like, bring this guy back.
Malume, come back.
I got moved back in November, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, in
the station changing their breakfast show in November.
I remember I actually texted you, remember?
Yeah, because the promo, you thought it was me.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And just explain that in radio terms, the
April.
fiscal starts in April.
Yeah.
It's like a
And-
transfer window. In
so we had
sport.
just launched this lineup in April, and I was staying where I was. And a few months down the line, 6 months down the line, we changed it. But that was the only change we made.
Yeah.
Myself and the breakfast show swapped time slots.
Yeah.
So and that was November last year, and the show's about to turn 1 actually.
Fucking hell.
But I
Congratulations.
must just say, being taken off the breakfast show,
Yeah.
radio-wise, was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I was able to come back to the show, and it was almost like this massive celebration that I'm back, and I was feeling myself.
Yeah.
And I had all this,
And you'd
this
grown as
experience.
well.
I'd grown, and I was making kick-ass radio. And I think if I hadn't been moved, and I would probably be at the end of my run at Y now. Whereas now I feel like I'm reinvigorated and I could do a couple more years.
Yeah.
So, that they say you don't know what you've got until it's gone.
100%.
There was that kind of feeling from the audience when I came back, that it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
New team, very young team. My co-host, by the way, when I was on the lunchtime show,
Yeah.
she was in high school listening to me.
What?
And she's now my co-host.
What's your coach
She's
name?
24, JSB.
JSP. Big shout out to
Six
JSP,
year age
man.
gap with us. She's
Wow. Have you
She's
chowed it?
not single. She got 2 kids, guys. Now I've never chowed any colleague, any radio.
I was just
No. I don't know how people do that. I know of radio people that have chowed their co-host, and I'm like, how?
Hey, Len, you can tell
Must
he's
be
not
sick.
from our generation. You
You mean I've got a gig? I'm not from the
Speak for yourself.
generations, Joe.
Speak for yourself.
I
Speak
kept
for
my
yourself.
gig, Joe. Ah.
Speak for yourself, my guy. I've never child stock. You
Boss Paradi used to go down, my G.
Bosporad.
Does it
Bosporad.
still go down?
It doesn't actually. Bosporad's completely changed. But now we're talking about
explain.
things no one knows.
Yeah,
why
no,
we
it's
get
an
Bosporad.
it's an
what happens
intern.
at Boss Barat stays in the
Really?
bus.
Yeah. Okay, so now you've gotten breakfast back, so you revamped, and how's that going like for you now? It's been a year, right?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
And the format changed.
Is it?
So it was a 4-hour show. When I came back, it
Oh, yeah,
used to
yeah.
be 6 to 9. Then we went 5 to 9.
I'll tell you something that you probably don't know. My ex listens to your show every single morning.
Definitely didn't know that. No.
When she'd come back from work, she'd be like, "Yo, I was listening to Ankletap."
Is that why
He's
she's
saying
your
this."
ex?
Ah.
You're like, why are you listening to Uncle Ted? Listen to me.
Oh, you're listening to me, dog. I'm out here.
You know, she loves your show.
No block party for you tonight.
I'm not gonna rock any girl.
No.
How's the change been like for you?
It's been cool.
And Dumila's back.
Yeah.
You're getting game time.
And there's this whole new feel to it. But I'm having fun, man. I'm just having fun. The 4-hour show is much better than the 3-hour show. You get
You
that
started,
first hour.
why at what age?
At 23.
23. You're about to turn...
23, yeah.
You're turning
30 on
30
Wednesday,
tomorrow.
yeah. Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay. I don't know. I'm unemployed, so the days all the same.
He only knows when that's the situation. You only know yesterday, today, tomorrow. As to if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we don't know. 18, 19, 20, we don't know.
That's too technical.
Yesterday, today.
For the record, welcome to the unemployment convention. Yes.
But
yeah.
You too?
Of course.
So how have you grown as a broadcaster and as a person? Because I know you're about to get married.
Yeah, that's been a big part of my growth on air, has been my growth off air.
Yeah.
I think any radio jockey, any broadcaster can tell you that your life really does affect how you broadcast. You know, like a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to do radio. Like, yes, it's easy to do radio. If you've got the talent or the gift, you can get in there and you can link.
Yeah.
But it's about being able to do that and put everything that's going on in your life aside.
Nice.
Because if those emotions come through, that's going to affect you. Nice. So the growth that I've had, I met the love of my life at the Summers last year.
You met her at the Summers?
I met her. I was a stage DJ at the Summers, and she saw me, and she came up and
I think I saw you play at the Wife and Body.
I'm the guy that played Sister Bettina when Rebecca Malope walked out onto stage. I'm that guy where Black Coffee's tweeting, who the fuck is this DJ? I'm that guy, dog. And it wasn't even my fault.
You met her there?
I met her there.
What was she doing there?
And she was working with her clients. So she's in the industry, not really.
Okay,
she's in advertising.
We got to know, is she a black woman or...
No, it's a white woman.
Okay.
White woman.
But you've had some black honeys in your life.
Yeah, I've had all kinds. Like,
hey,
for me, people are people regardless of race, color.
Yeah.
You're just your own person. Everyone's different.
How does she feel? Because you have black groupies. Does she get jealous?
I've never had groupies.
Fuck out of here and go off.
No,
You're doing wife and breakfast.
Let me tell you, and this is where the difference comes in.
He did a midnight show.
Everyone has groupies, right? But you only have groupies the minute you choose to have groupies. Like, otherwise they're just there and you think they're fans. And I'm like that introverted guy. I've got that DJ Ken thing going on where I'm like, sure, can I take a photo with you? Yeah, sure. Yeah, take a photo. So I've never really seen it that way. But
I mean, when she goes to like your gigs and she sees all these girls throwing themselves at you, doesn't she get jealous?
Well, she knows. She trusts me, and she knows what we have and how
I would have thought you were going to marry a black woman, bro. Because you're like the closest thing we have to Eminem in this country.
Fuck out. Kill shot.
Whoever the machine gun Kelly is, just stay in your lane for now, dog. If I'm Eminem, who's machine gun Kelly, dog?
Yeah.
So no, we're very comfortable. We've got a great relationship, and I've grown. You know, it was that moving in together, and then I did the whole proposal, and I spoke about it all on air.
How did you do the proposal?
So the plan for the proposal was to take her somewhere overseas to propose. Okay, so I wanted to do that.
Enfield.
No, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So here's the interesting thing.
By the way, he supports Liverpool. That's why he's saying Anfield.
My ski pass.
5 ski pass.
I've got Mvela and Patrice.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take her overseas and do the proposal. But now, when you want to plan a surprise trip for someone, you can't exactly go and apply for someone's visa on their behalf.
True.
So it had to be a country that wouldn't need a visa on a
like
South
Brazil.
African passport.
Yeah.
So I had this whole list, and I was looking at different countries, and I'd narrowed it down to like 10 different countries.
Was Zimbabwe one of them?
No. No Zimbabwe on there. Believe it or not,
fuck you.
There are 93 countries that South Africa can travel to.
Yeah.
Without a visa.
70 of them you don't want to go to.
13.
At all.
Yeah.
And the rest you can think about. And on the list was Ireland, okay? But it was low down on my list. I was more looking at like your Fiji, Argentina, some Brazil, South America. Yeah. And we went to her dad's house and we're watching the rugby. Okay, Springboks against Ireland.
Yeah.
And she's big into rugby. She likes watching it. And when the Irish anthem played, she made a comment. We were sitting on the couch. She was like, "Oh, Ireland! It's always been my dream destination. I've always wanted to go to Ireland." So I needed to quickly go to the bathroom. I'm like, I need the toilet because I had the list on my phone just to like double check. And it was on there.
Ireland there?
Then it was in. Yeah. So the plan was to do it in Ireland on the west coast. There's a place called the Cliffs of Moher. They're one of the modern day 7 wonders of the world. If you know Harry Potter, you know where Harry Potter and Dumbledore go to get that Horcrux.
You've lost MacGyver.
Yeah,
right?
this is the white side of you coming out.
They've got these like beautiful cliffs right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, and I was going to do it there. So I planned the whole trip, got the flights, booked the hotel, and that was her Christmas present. So on Christmas morning, we were spending the whole of Christmas.
You're quite the romantic.
I am, yeah. We did it with my family at the coast, and so on Christmas morning, I arranged for everyone, all the gifts that she got. I liaised with her parents because I obviously had to ask for permission. I did all of that. And I told them we were going to Ireland. And in December, it's really cold there. It's freezing. But we're in the middle of summer here. Yeah. So she starts opening all these Christmas gifts from her parents and from my family. And it's like a scarf and a beanie and a big jacket. And it's like 40 degrees in Durban at the time where we are. And she's like, what the fuck's going on with all these gifts? Yeah. Then she opens mine. It was the tickets, okay? And she's like, where we're going? And I was like, we're going to Ireland. And she couldn't kind of believe it.
Fucking hell.
And the plan was to then go there and propose.
Teachers must teach
I didn't stick to the plan. And I just couldn't wait any longer. And I figured I didn't want to be stressed trying to hide this ring, traveling overseas, what happens. And I took her outside onto the deck by the pool and proposed half an hour later on Christmas Day. So...
And how's marriage life, dude?
It's great.
Wow.
I think I was ready. I'm old enough now. Like, I don't... For me, clubs and stuff is work. I will one day do it.
Yeah. No, for us, on how to
do it. There's no
the marriage thing.
Dude, we
writes itself.
Dude, we could chat for hours, but we've got about 5 minutes left, right? Yeah. So my closing question is, we were talking about this with Len last week. You're in the medium right now. What do you think of the state of radio? Because I was telling him that there's not really much that entices me to tune on. Obviously, you know, if I wasn't unemployed, I'd wake up early and then I'd listen to your show. But I wake up anytime now. What do you think, as someone who's part of the medium right now, what do you think of the state of radio across like all borders, irrespective of stations?
I think it's a weird time, Mac. I think it's a weird time because the medium as we know it, or as we've always known it, is under threat. Okay, it's under threat from podcasts, from
podcast and chill.
From
coming for your motherfuckers.
Digital, social media. I mean, cell phones. Like, cell phone is the most important device now. A lot of people. But that being said, we're not in America, and data costs are
it's expensive.
We're still in a
Don't
position
worry, we only
of
get
power.
10 views.
I'll share it. We'll get 5,000. I'll share it for you, man. We'll get a few more, Nyana. Don't worry, dog. I got you, though. I got you. And since I'm the employed one, I'll pay a young 100 sponsored post.
That's why you are Malume. That's why you Malume.
My Mchanas will be fine.
Yeah.
I think it's still the most powerful medium in the country, and it'll
personal.
take many years to change.
Yeah.
So
TV
radio
couldn't kill us.
No, 5, and it's never been competition.
Yeah.
So 5-6 years from now, it'll be different. Yeah. But we are at a stage where things are changing, and social media is changing it. But our audience are really different. Like, they're changing. Like the kids just consume things differently.
100%.
Yeah, if you don't change with them, then you will
You're gonna be left behind, man.
You will be left behind.
All right, cool, man. Welcome to the podcast and chill, man.
Like, have you ever thought about it, right? We all have this thing. We all have this thing with, like, let's say our parents, okay? How they have struggled with the technology with, like, cell phones, for example. I mean, my dad still talks about the red button and the green button. That's what a phone does. I understand. And you see how they struggle with what we have.
My mother can't do cell phone bank. Can't do, like, you know, the app bankings. She struggles every time.
Have you thought about 15 years from now with us?
Oh,
like,
dude.
Are we gonna also be like, in my day we did it for the gram. We did it for the gram. They're gonna be like, the gram.
That's a discussion for another day. All right, welcome to the podcast and chill. My name is Mac G. Ankletap is here. We're about to play a game. So next month.
What's cool about?
Wait, Len. Wait, Len.
Before, you know what's cool about just happened now, ne?
Len, we're running out of time.
When two radio hosts went together and they were like all over each other, that was cool. I like that.
What the fuck, dude? You're wasting our time here.
Like when the producer thought he had something valuable to add to the broadcast.
All right, so listen, we're about to play a game. Guys, can you play the game?
Yeah, let's go. What's the game? How do I play?
The game is YFM's turning 21 next month.
Yes.
So we're going to see how well you know YFM. I've drawn up some questions here. See, I'm old school. I write my shit down. Okay.
I just want to see if this is actually it's 2016. I knew it. It's not even a 2018 diary page. 2016 unused diary, dog.
Clean. I'm gonna ask you. We're gonna check out how well you know YFM. Okay, because you've been there forever, right?
Cool.
First song that played. This is an easy one. First song that played on YFM.
Makeba.
Yes, that's correct. And number 2. How many listeners did YFM have within its first month?
I think it was 1 million.
Nah, 600,000.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive.
This is like 21 years ago. Yeah.
Nearest 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are close.
Okay, number
When you
3.
round up, I'm there.
When Fat Joe hosted the breakfast show, who was his sidekick?
I don't know. Hey.
Dada Man, aka David Cow.
Yeah, definitely that's before my time.
No. Dada Man and David Carr are two different people. Get your facts
Like
straight.
Smooth and Zaga.
No, yes.
No.
No. Dada Man was a guy. He was tall guy, taller than David Cow. He started.
So they're not the same human.
No.
Oh, I
They're
always
not
thought.
like
dog.
Boo.
You're asking questions here, you know?
This guy. Dada Man is a guy who did prank calls for Fat Joe in the morning. I think it was between 6:30 and 7 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Grandpa. Number 4. What was the first station manager of YFM?
Greg
What?
Maloka.
No.
What? Oh wait, Randall Abrams.
Yes.
Greg was the first programs manager, wasn't he?
Yes,
my bad.
yes.
Askis Randall, Joe. It's that new hairstyle of yours, dog.
Last
not
question.
an
So
idol.
you've got how many?
He's got 2 now.
Okay, all right, cool.
No, 3. Well,
3.
2.5.
All right, here's the last one. Which YFM DJ
Yeah.
was famously fired? Not me.
Okay.
For spilling water on the desk.
That would be Lee Kasumba.
That's correct.
That would be Lee.
What did you hear about that story? That was crazy.
I actually interviewed Lee 2 weeks ago. I had her on the show.
Oh, is it? No, in the breakfast
Look,
show.
we didn't talk about that. I wanted to ask it, and I was like, nah, let's not.
She was
But
like
I
traveling
think
Africa and shit, right?
where I picked up on that about was Fresh had left.
Yeah.
But Fresh took a big exception to her being fired, and he tweeted about it.
Oh,
Or
yes, he did.
He put it out there, and he was like, how can you
Yes.
fucking fire someone for this? etc.
Yes.
And that, my focus at the time was, I was like idolizing Fresh and following everything Fresh was doing.
Yeah.
So that kind of put a light on that for me.
Speaking about Fresh, before we go out of here, we're always going to ask you this because you're a radio head, as we
Yeah.
all are in here. Give me your top 5 radio DJs of all time.
Top 5 radio DJs of all time.
Yeah.
In this country.
Yeah, in the country.
In no particular order, or just
No particular
This is
order.
not. This is not.
And you can't put
Liverpool,
yourself.
Tottenham.
I can't. How? Hey, I'll start with Jeremy Mansfield.
Hey.
Put Jeremy Mansfield, DJ Fresh. I put in there. I will put Dineo Ranaka in there.
That's an
Ranaka
interesting one.
Yeah.
I think she could slay any slot.
Not this Metro FM.
Nah,
That's
I don't-
Montenegro.
Yeah. So okay.
The one who does play a man.
How
What's
many have I
that
done?
thing?
I've done 3, no?
What's that thing?
So-
This guy doesn't play a man.
Oh, ask him, man. But
Oh,
she inherited
thank
that from
you.
Bonanga.
Last week he said
inherited-
pick a man.
May as well. Okay, so I've got 2 more that I need to put
Yeah.
in there. You know what, Jay? And I put this person in because I've never come across anyone in the radio industry that hustles harder and believes in themselves harder. I'm gonna put DJ Spoo in on that list. I think
Fair
DJ
enough.
Spoo, doesn't matter what station you put him on, DJ Spoo will make that show happen.
So you think it'd work at 947?
They'd hate him, but he would work. People would listen.
He can go to RSG, chief, and kick ass.
He would kick ass anyway.
All right, we've got 60 seconds.
60
yeah?
seconds. One last name that I've got to throw in there. You know what? I'm going to have to say Anele because I'm
With
a big
or
fan. With Grant. I'm going to go
that's
Grant
it.
and
I was
Anele
asking.
combo.
That's a competition.
Doesn't matter, man. You said of all time greatest radio
Okay.
DJs.
All right,
Those are
cool.
the ones that I listen to that
she's
actually
dope.
changed
Yeah.
the way I do radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are my peeps.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, to all the 10 people listening, do you want to give them their handle so you can get 10 more followers?
Yeah, my handle's DJ Ankletap on all platforms. I don't do underscores. I don't do SA. I don't
Yeah.
do because I'm the only.
But listen, in a
Ankletap.
nutshell, dude, I love your work. like you one of the fewest radio DJs where I listen and I can actually listen to the whole show.
Nice,
because
thank
like you know, when you tell a story, there's no tune out factor. You know,
Yeah.
there's some people when they switch on the mic and they
yeah, like I'm back. I was like, yeah, yeah. Thank you, man.
But anyway, we got 10 seconds. Let me like, what are you gonna say before we're bouncing out of here?
He's from Poch, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've gathered.
Yeah. So Poch in the house once again.
018.
Can you leave your
yeah.
P20, bro?
Cool.
I can't. I can't. And that's not because I don't want to give it to you, dog. I know how much data that phone uses. It won't be conducive to your lifestyle, chief.
All right, we out of here.
Podcast and chill. Matt G and Len Moleko.